child. All the world waits for my coming. All the earth watches with interest to see what I shall become. Civilization hangs in the balance. For what I am, the world of tomorrow will be.
Kids Voice is a not-for-profit organization that represents children and their families and provides services to them and for the child's best interest. We do this through 3 different programs. Our Children's Law Center program, which provides statewide services. Our Betty J. Dick Guardian Ad Litem program, which provides services for children whose cases are heard in the Marion Superior Courts. And our Supervised Parent-Child Visitation program, which provides services on site at our office, but serves families throughout central Indiana and at times in other places as well.
Childhood is a most precious time. It is when a person learns to smile, to laugh, cry, say please and thank you. It is a time when all of life's ingredients are poured into a mold and nurtured by those who surround them. However, for many kids, their childhood has been turned upside down or even put in danger. Kids who are victims of abuse, in the middle of a custody fight, or whose only access to a parent is through supervised visitation. It is these children that Kids Voice of Indiana is there for, providing the advocacy support necessary to get that childhood back.
Our Children's Law Center program provides services for 3 different groups of Indiana people. The first is for judges and other attorneys. The second is child service professionals. And the third is for members of the public who are concerned about children and would like some information and referral.
The Kinship Caregivers Initiative is important because there's a growing number of kinship care providers nationally and also in Indiana. Kinship care is the full-time care, nurturing, and protecting of children by relatives or other adults.
Our Guardian Ad Litem program begins by the court entering an order appointing Kids Voice to serve as the child's guardian ad litem.
I get the case file and I will go through, read through the file, see what the major issues are, and then I will call the parties and set up an appointment to go out and see them. I try to make sure that I talk with the child in an environment where they feel like they can tell me whatever they want. So if that means going to school on free time, I'll talk to them during their free time at school or at Cub Scouts or something like that. I take all the information that I've gathered and I put it into one really big report, and then we submit it to the court, and about 10 days later we go to a hearing. I can't even count how many times I've had to say over and over, even in court, look, I'm not here for you or for you, I'm here for the child. I'm here to be the child's voice.
The guardian ad litem is a foot soldier, acting solely in the child's best interest. They are in the legal field of battle, monitoring, examining, evaluating, and advocating for the child. It is a volunteer army, and Kids Voice is always looking for new recruits.
You do not need to be an attorney to volunteer for Kids Voice. You can be a member of the community, an attorney, law student. We have a lot of people who work in the business field or don't work or retired that volunteer for Kids Voice. We're really looking for people who are passionate, have the time, want to help the kids, and are available to testify, write reports.
Supervised visitation is actually a parent-child supervised visitation. Kids Voice have parent-child supervised visitation rooms that allow for the child to come and visit with the one adult that has been court-ordered to be in a supervised visitation setting based on a judge that has deemed the child to be endangered. So our supervised visitation program gives a place for that visit to happen safely and neutrally, but it also allows the relationship to continue. When you're a victimized, abused, neglected child, you're in survival mode. Kids Voice is here to give these children the tools and their families the tools to put priorities back in line with how do we take care of these children and make sure they have a safe and productive home life.
The children supported by Kids Voice are not bound by any social, economic, or ethnic label. These children in need come from every walk of life. They live in the smallest apartments and the biggest mansions. Kids Voice reaches out all across Indiana, providing the services needed to make sure that fear or uncertainty is no longer the focus of their childhood. We do this because it is our responsibility as a human community. We know this because we were all children once.
That's the great thing about Kids Voice. It's not just another job. Everyone who works there and is involved as a volunteer is doing it because of some sort of passion or connection. And it's a great feeling to know that every day you're doing something to help make life a little bit better for someone else.
I feel blessed to have this job, and I think that I can't be prouder of the work that Kids Voice does. And it's to be able to give a child a voice and tell things from the child's point of view in these proceedings is just so important, and I think so helpful to the judge.
I've come from a family where I've seen 2 divorces myself, and Kids Voice wasn't around at that time. The services weren't around. So when you're a child that's come from that survival mode and you understand what destructiveness that does to your family, you want nothing more than to see these tools provided to other families.
At Kids Voice, the child is top priority. We provide an unbiased opinion on a kid's behalf in a court of law. The mom and the dad are important, of course, but the child's well-being long-term is very key.
Our children are our future, and children who are in a stable home where their needs are met and they're free from abuse, neglect, and endangerment due to drugs and alcohol can do a better job of being productive adults and forming a significant, giving part of society instead of being adults who need to be cared for by the state or private charities because they lost their opportunity to become successful.
I am the child. You hold in your hand my destiny. You determine largely whether I shall succeed or fail. Give me, I pray you, those things that make for happiness. Train me, I beg you, that I may be a blessing to the world.